Hello everybody, what is up? It's Eddie Nitty and welcome to today's video on the channel. We're going to be ranking Premier League clubs based on their biggest spending spree in one season upon, just one window really. Basically the most money which they spent, which all comes in the summer transfer window, because no club really spends, as much money in January as they do in the summer. But we're going to kick it off Ipswich Town. Obviously, let me just go through the categories again. Doubled their money in terms of players they've brought in, and they've, have just been worth so much more for them than the money they paid. Decent. Yeah, it was okay. It worked out. Meh. 50-50. Some good players in there, some bad players in there. Couple of hidden gems. Most of them probably failed. That's basically what I'm going up. But a few players in there which done well, whether it made the club more money in the future. And waste of money in terms of like there would have been better just keeping, better just keeping the money. Anyway, we're kicking off with the first club, which is Ipswich Town. Ipswich Town, surprisingly, this is all going off the transfer market, by the way, in terms of the fees, so it probably isn't correct, but we'll kick it off with it. So, Ipswich Town, £126 million they have spent so far, which is their highest spending spree, and that was for the 24-25 season, so the current season. And Ipswich Town have not really, it's hard to judge, really. Obviously, they brought a few players, a couple of hidden gems, in my opinion. I think definitely Amari Hutchinson, probably, one of the most exciting, young talents in the Premier League at the moment. The Jamaican wide man, Liam Delap up top. Obviously getting a few Premier League goals already, Liam Delap. I believe he's got 3 or 4 goals this season already. In terms of anybody else at the top of my head, there's a few other good players they've brought in on freebies like Ben Johnson, but they have spent a lot of money and a lot of risky players as well. So, I don't want to put it in waste of money because you can't really judge it yet, but I'm going to go with a couple of hidden gems to give 126 million to be where they are at the moment, in hope for better. Next club we've gone on to is Brighton. Brighton's biggest spending spree was actually the current transfer window, well, latest transfer window, which was the 24-25 season, and they spent 231 million, bringing in the likes of Rutter, bringing in Minte, Weaver, Kruda, O'Reilly, that Kadagoli guy. It's hard to judge them, but Brighton have always, in my opinion, I can't really think of many players that haven't really worked out for them that they've signed, for decent money that hasn't worked out. So, I'm going to put it in decent. The signing team's doing well in real life. See, Rutte got his first goal the other day for Brighton. So, yeah, decent for Brighton so far. Next club we're moving on to is Everton. Everton's highest spending, we're going a little bit far back here, 2017-2018, which was 203 million, bringing in Gylfi Sigurdsson, Michael Keane, Jordan Pickford, Klaassen, Tosun, Walcott, etc. For me, this one is almost a waste of money. The only thing that I think might bring it up is Jordan Pickford, because let's face it, Sigurdsson, not good. Well, he did okay for them before, the current situation that he's in. Michael Keane and Pickford, decent. They're decent, but honestly, apart from Pickford, it's a waste of money. Walcott didn't work out, Klaassen didn't work out, Cenk Tosun didn't work out. Waste of money there for Everton. Apart from Pickford, they should have kept all their money. Next one is Wolves. Wolves' highest spending was actually in the 2022-2023 season, 179 million, bringing in Matheus Nunes, Guedes, Nathan Collins, João Gomez, Hwang Hee-chan, and Craig Dawson, and upon a few other players as well. Mario Lemina, I believe, being another one as well to add into that. For me, in terms of the highest spenders, into the Matheus Nunes and Guedes. Guedes hasn't really worked out for them. He's been out on loan quite a few times, and I don't know whether he's actually left them in real life. I'm not too sure. Nunes, it didn't work out, but it also did work out, and so that he did do well for Wolves, but then again, he did move on to Man City, and they did get more money. So, for me, I'm actually going to put it in decent. Craig Dawson's been a really solid defender for them, joining from West Ham. Nathan Collins as well. They made some money on him as well through buying him from Burnley and then sending him on to Brentford. So, yeah, it's worked out well for them. Decent. Next one is Spurs, the 23-24 season, £272 million being spent. Brennan Johnson, Maddison, Porro, Van der Ven, Dragson, Vicario, Velez. To me, that is a really solid window. You know, in terms of what Spurs brought in there, that is really so. Brennan Johnson doing really well at the moment, so decent for me. A lot of players there with a lot of high potential. Man United, here we go. Man United's highest spend was $243 million. That came in the 2022-2023 season. They signed Anthony, Martinez, Casemiro, Tariq Malcia. For me, apart from Lisandro Martinez, that was a sinking window. However, I'm not going to judge it. Anthony's still a Man United player. Tariq Malcia is still a United player. So, I'm going to put a couple of hidden gems in there. I'm going to put a couple of hidden gems. To be honest with you, I don't think it's better than Ipswich, you know. But anyway, a couple of hidden gems in there. There's still time. West Ham United. West Ham's highest spending season was 196 million, and that came in the 2022-2023 season, signing the like of Paqueta, Scamacca, Cornet, Ings, Emerson, Downs, and Algard. Meh. Paqueta's worked out well, but in real life at the moment doesn't seem like it has worked out well. You know, in terms of all the betting. Scamacca was a fail. Cornet was a fail. Ings came in clutch for a couple of goals here and there, so meh. Emerson's been decent for them. Downs they got a bit of money for. And Algar didn't really work out. So for me, a couple of hidden gems. Probably just ahead of Ipswich for me. Next club is Newcastle. Newcastle biggest spending came in the 2022-2023 season. 185 million. Isak, Gordon, Botman, Pope, Targay. A lot of spending right there. For me, honestly, double their money. You know, Isak and Gordon have both been heavily linked to heavy moves. You know, Gordon has been linked to potentially £100 million transfer. Same Isak has been linked with Arsenal. You know, mainly Gordon had a lot of interest from his former Merseyside rivals, Liverpool. So a lot of interest there of Anthony Gordon. Botman, unfortunately, injuries have affected Botman. Nick Pope's been a solid goalkeeper for them. The only bad one was Matthew Targay. But for me, double their money. Because they probably legitimately have. Next club is Brentford. Brentford's highest spending came in the 2024-2025 season. Actually, probably, I think, it is the lowest spending out of everybody on this shortlist. They spent 97 million, Brentford, through bringing in Igor Thiago. They also brought in Van den Berg, Carvalho, Nunes, Magoma. For me, it's hard to say, really. So I'm just going to put it in Meg, because honestly, I can't judge any of them players, really. You know, you can't judge any of them players being this early on in the season. But some of them players definitely are risky. So, to me, it could be either here, or here, or here. Or it could even be here, or it could be here. You know, like, you look at the amount of, you know, talent they brought in. You know, potential talent. But will they hit it? Next club we're moving on to is Aston Villa. Villa has spent 176 million, you know, on bringing in, on 2025 season. Sorry if I didn't mention that. They brought in Onana, Matson, Dobbin, Samuel Iliang Jr., Philogene. A lot of money spent. They also lost a few good players. To me, it's decent. It's a decent window. It's a decent window for Villa. I think it just goes behind Brighton for me. Does it get ahead of Wolves? Yeah, I think it does. Because Maatsen, brilliant for Dortmund. Onana, been a solid midfielder in the Premier League for a couple of years now. So, yeah, for me, decent. Next coming on to is Palace. And this one, we're going far back, Palace. I think this is the furthest one back. 2016-2017 season, apparently they spent 101 million. Benteke, Townsend, Sacco, Milivojevic, Patrick Van Aanholt, Schlupp. Honestly, meh. They came in with a couple of clutch, you know, signings there, like Andros Townsend. Benteke got a few goals for Palace. Also, the signing of Patrick Van Aanholt, very good fullback. Milivojevic, you know, in a DM. For me, meh. You know, because honestly, it didn't work out well for them in the end, did it? But they didn't make it. I don't think they made money off any of them. Obviously, they all moved on with free transfers and very minimal fees. Nottingham Forest, we are now going into Forest the 23-24 season, 198 million. Morgan Gibbs-White, Taiwo, Danilo, Nico Williams, Dennis, Niakate, O'Brien. Dennis and O'Brien have really flopped. Nico Williams, kind of leaning towards the flame of flop. But Morgan Gibbs-White, what a pickup that has been for Forest. For me, I am actually going to go a bit indecent because, you know, it still is early on to say a little bit with Forest, but they could get some good amount of money from Morgan Gibbs-White later down the line. Next club is Man City. Man City's highest spending spree has came in the 17-18 season. 370 million. Laporte, Walker, Silva, Benjamin Mendy, Ederson and Danilo. You know, Walker, Silva and Ederson, phenomenal. However, I'm going to put it in decent because despite Walker, Silva, Danilo and Ederson all being good, Mendy, bit of a flop, well, a massive flop, and Laporte was good for them, but moved on to Saudi Arabia. Liverpool's highest spending came in the 2018-2019 season. 182 million spent on Alisson, Keita, Fabinho, Shaqiri. Shaqiri came off as a main substitute for the team. Keita failed. Fabinho was solid for moving to Saudi Arabia, and Alisson one of the best goalkeepers in the world. I wouldn't say double their money, but decent, but not that great. I'd probably put it just ahead of Villa for me. Next club is Chelsea, the biggest spenders. According to the transfer market, they spent 603 million in the 2022-2023 season. Enzo, Fofana, Mudryk, Sterling, Koulibaly, Noni, and so many more. Honestly, it has got to be a couple of hidden gems because I kind of want to say a waste of money, but let's be honest, there are a couple of players in there which are really good players, you know, for Chelsea. For example, Noni Madueke is playing for Chelsea now. Really seems like a really good, solid pickup. Koulibaly was an okay defender when he was there to begin with. Enzo, despite the allegations against him, he's not been great. Actually, no, you know what? Waste of money. I changed my mind. Fulham, 160 million spent in the 2018-2019 season. They brought in Siri and Gisa, Mitrovic, Mawson, Bryan, Fabrizio. Them last three, complete flops. Maybe not Joe Bryan, but Mawson and Fabrizio, complete flops. And even Seri as well. So for me, I'm going to go with a couple of hidden gems again. You know, Mitro, fantastic. Fulham, probably one of their best ever strikers, if not the best ever striker. Joe Bryan was solid, so it was okay. Leicester City's highest spending spree actually came in the 2018-2019 season, signing Maddison, Ricardo Pereira, Sonanchi, Ward, and Gazelle. Again, meh. I'm going to go with the meh. So they signed a couple of good players, you know, Leicester City. Obviously, look at James Maddison, Ricardo Pereira. Sonchi was okay for them. Ward was okay, but Gazelle, complete failure. Next club is Arsenal. For Arsenal, we are going to the 2013-2014 season, spending 235 million, bringing in Rice, Havertz, Timber, and Raya. For me, it was well worth it. All them players have been phenomenal for Arsenal. Timber can play across the entire back four. Raya, one of the best goalkeepers in the Premier League. Havertz, I believe, has got like 8 goals in 8 Premier League games or something. And Declan Rice, one of the best DMs in the world. Fantastic. Arsenal, one of the best. Is it better than Newcastle's? In terms of player quality now they're doing for their club, yes. But in terms of value, no. Because I think Isak and Gordon... no, I'm going to go with Arsenal actually ahead. Right. And Southampton's highest spend came in the 2022-23 season. 153 million. Lavia, Sulemana, Mara, Bazunu, Edozie, Onachu. They made good money on Lavia. Sulemana's still at the club. Mara hasn't been great for them. Bazunu, backup goalkeeper. Edozie, bench. Onachu, flop. So, meh, because they made a lot of money on Lavia. And the final one, born 127 million, 23-24 season. Tyler Adams, Alex Scott, Kirkeres, Kluivert, Fave, and Traore. decent. But anyway, let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. Thank you for watching, everybody. Have a great day. See you all soon.